So head north. That seems to be where Mordecai is. Probably this entrance right here. Keep looping around here, heading upwards. I didn't notice that soldier taking a league last time. Mordecai's typical diagrams.
New bird. I think he's trying to tell us something.
This Plasma Caster does a great job.
Mordecai got attacked by vine freaks. Vault Hunter, follow Talon.
Check if there's anything in that corner. Haven't been using those cameras. Probably should do. Haven't really been keeping an eye out for those cameras. Can't interact with that. Follow Talon, pick up her clues. Haven't really used the plasma casters all that much. I can see how powerful they are now.
Still haven't heard from Mordecai. Keep following Talon. We've lost too much already. We can't lose Mordecai. He's the best scout in the Raiders. We've been fighting together since the beginning.
Talon moves very slowly.
Mordecai, Brick, Roland. We had each other's backs. We fought together. That's how we survived for so long. When Roland died, Mordecai got me through some dark times.
At least we're not getting harassed by enemy vehicles. At least not yet. So now we enter this camp. So it looks like you probably don't have to follow her directly. You can probably just go at a later time and just pick up the those quest items that she drops on the ground. Nice little bit of cover for me. Rubberized move. That sounds like it will be very awkward to use, a rubberized move. This has a decent sized magazine, this blaster.
Enough.
Sometimes it's difficult to see where the enemies are with all of the glowy effects.
Got something for ya. Freeze.
That's a neat way to heal up. Just throw the grog nozzle on and just then use the Phaselock. Takes you immediately up to full health. There's a bunch of green stuff there we don't really need to bother with. I'm expecting there to be some sort of a loot chest in this area. Well, there's one outhouse down there. Let me just make sure everything's reloaded here while I got the chance. So we have pistols in this outhouse, all just green ones. SMG ammo is about half. Flat off slag, assault rifle.
Hang in there, Mordecai. The Vault Hunter's coming.
Vault Hunter, hell yeah! Let's show these silent soldiers what the Raiders can do.
Another explosive tank. So you can sneak under here. And you can jump up here. Don't know if there's anything up here though. Doesn't seem to be. Nova shield, Maliwan shock SMG. Or pistol. Oh, almost died. Try to recover a little bit here. The shield I have does not have a ton of capacity. Pretty easy to get one shot with this shield.
Please stop. Hold it. You'll regret that.
Don't know if I can even get an angle on this guy. Not quite. So, how do you view Borderlands 3 compared to Borderlands 2? People often have a preference when it comes to these games, specifically because many were expecting Borderlands 3 to be a better Borderlands 2, which it never was meant to be. Thus were a bit disappointed when the game played so differently. I'm enjoying Borderlands 3. So far, I'm enjoying it. Although things like the slide mechanic, I never use that sprint and slide mechanic. So maybe stuff like that's not that interesting to me. It just seems not really worth it. Maybe it is, but I never use that slide mechanic. But I certainly like things like the mantling mechanic. It does make sort of jumping and climbing on things a little bit more satisfying. There does seem to be an overwhelming number of legendaries and rarer items. So that's kind of, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, having so many legendaries and unique items. Kind of makes them feel a little bit less special when you have just a huge mountain of unique items piled on top of you. So I don't know if that's such a good thing. Wow, this guy's really taking me down, this marksman. Badass marksman. Oh, he's over here. Have to pay more attention to this badass marksman. Well, yeah, Borderlands 3 is like, hey, you can have a few because we're over 500 uniques for show. Yeah, 500. See, I'm not sure. Still not sure whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Just having so many uniques. I guess it's interesting to explore them all, but at the same time, it does get a little bit overwhelming with all the uniques you get piled on you. Now I've got to pay attention to this sniper here. This badass marksman. Looks like I can't Phaselock him once he goes invisible. Let him there. Let's try here. Try to take cover here. There's one of them at least. Oh, those guys are tricky, those badass marksmen. Blast-proof amp shield. Loaded widow maker. But I'm enjoying Borderlands 3 so far. I do like it. Certainly doesn't feel like a downgrade from Borderlands 2 to me. It's different, but doesn't feel like a downgrade. Although some things are a bit annoying, like the map. The map interface, I think, is a downgrade. I don't like the map interface. But overall, yeah, the UI is straight port from the console, right? Yeah, it does seem to be lacking a little bit there. So what was this blue item? Jacob's pistol. Don't worry though, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is a lot worse. Oh, okay, so it's even worse. Kind of a shame when the developers make a good game and seem like they just half-ass the user interface. Seems like a shame that they just ruin their game with a bad interface. Acid Nova Shield, lobbed incendiary transfusion. That's got a 0 second fuse time. Like even in Borderlands 2, having these character models obscure the inventory screen. I guess mine's not too bad, but some of the others are worse. I mean, why do this? Just make it more difficult to view the inventory. Either make the model smaller or put it behind. This just seems like a really dumb idea.
You alright?
Lilith! Those pendejos crop dusted me.
Damn it! Mordecai's infected! This is my fault. We need that antidote, now! I'll take him back to camp, get through that mine, and find the scientist.
Excellent. I eagerly await your arrival. Good luck at that old doll mine. I heard that place was haunted. Cursed haunted.
So we don't need that shield right now. Enter the Dahl mine. Wonder if there's a loot chest up at the top here. Oh, there is. It seemed like a good spot for a loot chest. We've got a couple of SMGs there, green ones. And another thing that's weird about the user interface is like when you're on this part, you can sort with the key. But if you like select a weapon here, now you can't sort anymore. Like why can't you sort with the key anymore in this part? Hello Armashelt. I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you going? Oh yeah, good question. Yeah, so there's a bit of inconsistency with how the sorting key works. So I recently got I got a couple of E-Tech weapons that have been fun to play around with. This Plasma Caster and this Blaster. So I've been using these two instead of the Good Touch. So these were a good find. I picked up these two today. Oh, you never sort. Okay, so which sort do you leave it on? Hyperion non-elemental blue. Just by value, right. That's probably a decent one. Decent one to quickly see what's good that you have. Okay, into the Dahl mine. I don't think there's anything I need to get from down here. I don't see any loot chests down there. Let's make sure my launcher's reloaded. So you've been busy with work. So how's work been going, Armashelt? Try these shops again. Longbow transfusion. Absorb shield. I was expecting more of a fight up here. Oh, this thing.
I'd leave my flank exposed to counterattack? That's basic military strategy. I already reinforced that door with 3 feet of solid titanium, you dum-dums. Point Hector.
This guy's a 4-star asshole, but again, he's right.
Try to get these decaying pods before they hatch.
Come on back to camp and we'll figure it
Love my
out.
power. You're done.
Really like that gun. Yeah, it's a good one, the Plasma Caster. Yeah, I picked it up today, and I was lucky to get a flame one, which is probably the most useful elemental type for this DLC. So, and I also picked up this shock blaster as well. But this Plasma Caster has been really nice. Yeah, especially for my nice Plasma Caster SMGs. Very, very good. Oh, that's it. Return to back burner. Imagine you had a better catcom. Yeah, so the one I have now, SMG gun damage 113%. So it's already doing very nicely against these enemies. I recall the maximum is around 140% or 143. Okay, so I'm not quite at the maximum. 113. Probably quicker just to save quit from here. So that's good to know that the maximum is around 140%. Oh, it puts me here. It's still 213% as much damage as the same gun on any other character without gear boosts. Okay, so once you factor in the other gear as well. Like, yeah, so you're getting 113 from the cat class mod. And then another 100. We have to go back this way. There's a mirrored trickster.
Set out. Let me know if anything catches your eye.
So turn this one in, winging it. This water reminds me of the water in the Captain Scarlet DLC. That blue glowing water. I was going to get a new good touch, but I don't really need one now. I've got this flame plasma caster. 25,000 XP, $394,000 reward.
We need to punch through that gate somehow. Cassius is our only chance of saving Mordecai and retaking Sanctuary.
Tritanium's chunky stuff, Lil. Gonna take one hell of a weapon, and what we got here ain't gonna cut it.
Hater's Folly next.
Yeah, that could work.
See what these shops have. We might have some stuff we can sell off too. I've been watching a lot of Monty Python Holy Grail. Pretty good movie. I haven't seen Holy Grail for a long time. Might as well keep this incendiary transfusion for now. Holy hand grenade, yeah.
We can get the moonshot cannon working.
When the knight gets all of his limbs chopped off.
But just so you know, to get into Helios, you're gonna have to go through the Burrows. Have fun, don't die!
Who needs a medical?
I don't love using Jack's weapons, but if it gets the job done, I can live with it.
Oh man!
Might be good to actually go back and watch the Monty Python
Burrows is
movies
abandoned
again.
rite of passage. You know what? If you
It's been
make
a
it
long
through,
time since I've seen
you
any
can
of
be
them.
my Vice Vault Hunter. Could you help me out with a recruitment drive? So, that attack pretty much killed or mutated my whole clan, the Helios Hellions. Could you show the bandits in the area that we're the best by, you know, slaying enemy bandit leaders and staking claim to their territory? Basic stuff.
I just think old movies are better than the new movies we get today.
Bastards in the crew. But
Oh,
hey,
absolutely, yeah.
territory, right?
That's
Bandit
true.
life.
Yeah, I don't have much interest in most new movies. New movies. I don't even keep up to date of what's coming out anymore. I mean, kind of not. It's not quite as bad with TV shows, but it's kind of like that with TV shows as well. Most of the movies and TV shows I watch are older ones. They should make a Borderlands series of something, in my opinion. Yeah, they could make a Borderlands TV show. There's enough content and lore to build a TV series out of it. Or a movie series. There's plenty of content there. I've recently watched 22 Marvel movies that were all the same movie. That's the problem, yeah. That's right, that's the problem. Once the movie studios strike on a successful formula, they just keep on repeating it. A Borderlands 2 series would be epic and the best choice. What sells, sells, yeah. Yeah, it would be very good. I would watch a Borderlands 2 series. I think I have to... Where is this other optional mission? Probably underneath. There.
How does it look? You think... Hey, sugar. I've got something important for you. In case you didn't know, my son Scooter, he died recently. He went out the way I always saw him, as a hero. I've said my own goodbyes, but before we rushed off Sanctuary, I found an echo in Scooter's things. Says it's for you, Vault Hunter.
And there's one more other optional mission up this way. Might as well collect them all here while I can. Check these shops first.
Welcome, customer.
Longbow Fireburst.
Don't have too much fun. I'll always buy guns you don't need.
I'd argue that besides this being a decent idea, people have different expectations from media nowadays. If you serve them a 10-year-old franchise, they won't like it. You think so? 10-year-old franchise? Oh, you mean like something like Borderlands? Yeah, maybe. But that seems to be the way when it comes to video game licenses for movies. They tend to come out much later than the video game came out. If you look at pretty much all of them, they all seem to take a long time to come out, pretty much, you know, at the stage where they no longer are so popular. Similar with the toys as well, movies based on toys and video games. They tend to come out fairly late in the game's popularity. Pretty sure, I mean, look at a friggin' movie cast. Claptrap's actual voice actor wanted to voice Clappy in it, got denied because Jack Black has a larger peer audience, yeah, and now they just recruit all kinds of names into a movie that is set in the Borderlands universe to milk the cow. Yeah, that's right. It's just, yeah, they're just more interested in putting actors that people are already familiar with. Yeah, nobody outside of diehard Borderlands fans are going to know who the voice actor is for Claptrap. So this the studios want to put a name in there that people can recognise. Do we really expect that studio to publish a decent series? Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, movie studios have a very bad record when it comes to video game licensed movies. They're all, pretty much all of them are terrible, so that's true. There's not, going by their track record, there's not much hope that they would make anything good. And it's also the other way around with video games based on movie licenses. Most of those are terrible as well. Not all of them, there are some exceptions, but the majority of video games based on movie licenses are also pretty bad too. I don't think I've seen a good game adaptation. Yeah, I'm trying to think of one myself. I mean, Quake was rubbish. Mario Brothers was rubbish. Yeah, honestly, in my opinion, the Halo TV was really bad. I haven't even watched the Halo one. I basically just assume that any TV show or movie based on a video game is going to be no good. So, not really that keen to bother watching them. DMC Devil May Cry anime was rubbish. Yeah. Star Wars games, that's definitely an exception. There are a lot of good Star Wars games. So you certainly get some good Star Wars games.
Catch the eye of that tennis lady. I like to cut her for a graduated cylinder.
Meteor Slag pistol. Warhammer is getting a TV show soon, so there is hope. Yeah, every time they make one, there's always a chance they'll do a good job. Green Jacobs shotgun there. Seems like there is more video game licenses that are getting turned into TV shows and movies than in the past. like decades ago, it was quite rare to actually get a video game licensed movie. But now you see quite a lot of TV shows and movies based on video games. Rarely are they any good, but at least they're trying to make more of them.
An infected soldier back to camp. Man, I keep thinking you mine the idiot shaft dry, then you go and strike a big old vein of dumbass.
He'll get his soon enough. Focus on Helios.
I mean, there's plenty of potential there because these games have big audiences, and the games also have quite a rich lore to them. So there's plenty of material for the writers to work with to create a movie or a TV series. But then the writers have to mess around with it and put their own stamp on it. Warhammer 40k by far has a lot of potential. Yeah, certainly does. Okay, let's get a car here. Let's see where we need to go for these parts. Oh, we were on the wrong map. Kill infected and collect parts. So where do we have to go for this mission? Dial abandon, right. Dial abandon. If they don't say the word heresy 20 times in the first episode, I'm not interested. For the Emperor, burn the heretic. I don't have much experience with Warhammer, so I'm not familiar with the lore for that one. So maybe it is way over there. I mean, it's quite possible I haven't unlocked Dial Abandon yet, so maybe I need to do the main story first. Let's sort by expansion here. Let's do the main story a little bit. So head to the south west. Yeah, nowadays companies like Netflix, Amazon or whatever can be like, yo, publisher, do you mind if we use your ancient franchise for entertainment, because millions of people pay $8 to $10 per month to watch stuff they don't want on physical discs anymore. So we have way too much money there, yeah. That's right, they're sitting on a pile of money. Yeah, that's right, they're sitting on a pile of money that they can pay for licenses. My car's not going to last long here, let's just leave it behind.
Hold it right there. Stop. Grenade out.
slaying these guys while I wait for Phaselock to cool down here.
This will work.
Sounds like a heretic speaks, Squiggy. I play Warhammer 40k. I pray Warhammer 40k goes well. Yeah, hopefully. Capitalism ho, I guess. Burn him, the heretic. You would think if people like Netflix had so much money, they'd be able to take more chances and just try to implement these things, these licenses more faithfully, rather than just trying to follow the same cookie cutter design of a Marvel movie. They seem to just keep following the same ideas. Oh, that's the quest one. We haven't got that quest yet, I don't think, to get the loot midget to spawn. Have to be careful not to take that quest item from that outhouse when I do get that mission. Same as with PC, never touch a running system. Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it type of idea. But I guess these things go in cycles. Eventually people will lose interest in the Marvel formula. And the studios will move on to something else.
Don't get eaten! Oh, and tell the sandworms I said...
If people don't expect a good movie or need one, why make one? Yeah, that's true. Especially when people are going back and just watching older movies. The studios are still making money on those older movies anyway. The new Resident Evil Netflix show was wasted because we waited 2 years for it and only got 4 episodes, and that was it. Now I have to wait another years for season 2. The newest Resident Evil movie was so bad I never watched the show. The TV series for Resident Evil now? Yeah, all of those Resident Evil movies just look like low budget cash grabs. So I never bothered. I haven't watched a single one of those Resident Evil movies. They just seem like pretty cheaply produced things. And also, was never really got into the Resident Evil games either, so I can't say I've been a super fan of the game series either. So that's probably another reason why I haven't actually watched those movies. The old ones were decent, right? So maybe I should actually check them out. Haven't watched any of them, so maybe I should check out some of the older ones. Next they're going to make a Last of Us. Wait, Uncharted. No, wait, Borderlands. God damn it. Yeah, they're just gobbling up all of these game licenses. The new ones are not that good. Same for the games, right. Yeah, I might have played 1 or 2 of the old Resident Evil games, but haven't really looked at them since then. The old ones were not good for Resident Evil, but if they would have called it something else, people would have liked them better. Okay, so they weren't really faithful to the game story. device.
Throwing grenade!
Tendril.
That was messy.
The first of 4, I think, movies didn't have a single character from the game. Okay, so it's like a generic sort of a zombie movie. Yeah, they could have just called it like Nemesis or whatever. Yeah, more than likely they already had a script. And then they just got the Resident Evil license and they just slapped it on an existing script with actually no effort into actually adapting it for the game. Which is pretty cheesy and cynical, but I guess that's the movie industry for you. So where's our little ghost friend? Filled Jacob's rifle. Winter is over. Incendiary damage. Increases all damage done with a specific damage type. Incendiary repeater and iridium. Whoever the antagonist in the respective movie was, but people already knew the game, so they connected it, and it seemed to be enough to put an athletic Mila Jovovich with dual guns as main character. And get the money going for them. Fair, I've never made a movie. But if I were to make one, I wouldn't call it Borderlands 1.5 or The First of Us. Yeah, if you wanted to make something something original. But I guess most of the time these movie studios are just interested in cashing in on the fans rather than actually making something with the intellectual property. They're really just buying access to the fans. Granted, my movie would be absolute dog shit. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe you're a talented scriptwriter and don't know it. Okay, looks like these sandworms are fighting the other enemies here.
Success. Stay still. Bye now.
Okay, so the sandworms will at least
Close it down.
stay put above ground when they get phase-locked. We have a bunch of these body parts to pick up now.
Please stop.
Saplings still around. Now we've got the sandworms. We've still got more of the saplings style enemies.
Silence. Pretty cool.
Still more sandworms. Still more sandworms around. That might be it. Nice haul of infected samples there. I'd rather stick to pure writing. Yeah, then you don't have to deal with any meddling executives trying to change everything. I mean, Star Wars is in a pretty decent place because they have people who are big fans. Yeah, strange to say that that Lucas might not have been actually the best person for the job after a while, judging by the pre-sequels. Kind of ruined his legacy, didn't it? Those pre-sequels ruined Lucas's legacy. People thought he was a great, and after the pre-sequels, people realised, well, hey, it was probably the people he collaborated with rather than him that put most of the magic into Star Wars. Check this here. My brother is actually an actor, and I can't see it for myself. A Nelly related regard. Don't know, I'm a weirdo. Okay, what sort of acting does he do, Squiggy? Like I said, film like Indiana Jones are better than films we get now. Absolutely. Absolutely, Indiana Jones. Yeah, these days they don't really make blockbuster movies the way they used to in the 80s. Like the 80s, particularly the mid-80s, was like the heyday for blockbuster movies like Indiana Jones and E.T. and Back to the Future. These days, the only thing we have close to a blockbuster movie is Marvel movies. Other than that, we don't really get those that same quality and diversity of blockbuster movies that we got in the 80s. It's kind of a dying art, a blockbuster movie. You know, if it's not a Marvel style superhero movie, you don't really get blockbuster movies anymore. Oh yeah, we don't talk about Indy 4. Yeah, that's right. I mean, again with Spielberg, I mean, movies like Indy 4 kind of ruined Spielberg's legacy for me as well. You know, Spielberg in the 80s was like a god when it came to movie making directors. But when you look at things like Indy 4, and you realise that, you know, by the time you got up to Indy 4, Spielberg had access to all of that CG. He could do whatever he wanted with computer graphics. And that's what he did with it. And it kind of makes you think that a lot of the magic in Spielberg films were really based on the limitations he had as a filmmaker, not really based on the quality of his creativity or vision. And it kind of ruined Spielberg's legacy as far as I'm concerned, when he had everything at his fingertips with the latest CG technology to create whatever he wanted to. He created Indy 4. It's like, well, I don't know. Just makes him seem a little bit less special in that regard. A lot of these directors do better when they have more limitations on what they can do as far as technology. Which pre-sequels are we talking about? 1 to 3, 7. I was talking about 1 to 3. But yeah, I'm not a huge Star Wars expert. I think I've only seen the pre-sequels once, and was not a fan. There is too many. 1 to 3, yeah. I'll take 1 to 3 over 7 to 9 any day. Okay, so 1 to 3 are kind of rising in value. I mean, they were pretty. Soon after they came out, they were pretty much hated, but maybe in retrospect they're not so bad compared to 7 to 9. 4 to 6 are best, yes. 4 to 6 are best. It's treason then, right. Theatre, classical pieces. Okay, mostly with a bit of today. Him and his colleague are in charge of writing the scripts. So they take classic pieces and infuse them with a tiny bit of today. Like when he portrayed the painting of Dorian Gray, Dorian, would suddenly appear on stage with a face mask. It was 2022, so masks weren't a requirement anymore. So his colleague snapped at him for being out of time. It's pretty good, just not for me at all. Oh, so that's good. So he's not just an actor, he's also a writer as well. Oh, that's good. That certainly elevates you an extra level as far as creativity goes if you're actually writing the scripts as well. Spielberg's still doing great movies now, though. Oh, you think so? What movies is he doing lately that's good? I can't say I've really kept up with what Spielberg's been doing. I mean, Ready Player One, was that a Spielberg movie? I mean, I think that was pretty rubbish. Again, I haven't seen it, so who knows? I guess I shouldn't really comment if I haven't seen it, but didn't look that interesting to me. One to 3 was significantly worse than 4 to 6. Yeah, for sure. Certainly, yeah, certainly. Kind of 1 to 3 is pretty good. They have really good shows, such as Clone Wars and Rebels. Yeah, I haven't actually looked at those, so they might actually be good, these shows. 1 to 2 were very bad. 3 was not as bad, but still bad. Yeah, I kind of lump in 1 to 3 all together. I don't really separate them in my mind, but it's quite possible that they do vary in quality. I just lump all 1 to 3 together as one group as far as the quality of them goes. I can understand that, but honestly, 3's the best. A lot of people like it. Yeah, quite possible. Yeah, I've only seen them once, so it's quite possible that I would like them more, or at least like 3 more on a rewatch. Yeah, true, but in my opinion, it has some of the best lightsaber duels. Oh, number 3. Probably, yeah. Yeah, there's not really that much lightsaber stuff in the original trilogy compared to the huge battles in some of the other movies. We still got the big boy here. I think he's fighting something else. Tough to see through all of this, all of these spores. Like in the original trilogy, you just had, as far as lightsaber stuff goes, you had Luke training, and then you had the battle with Vader, and I think that's about it as far as. Oh, and then the cutting off the guy's arm, but very little lightsaber stuff in the original trilogy compared to the other ones. Alright gamers, I'll switch to lurk mode. It's almost 5 AM. No worries, Squiggy. Thank you for stopping by. And same here, it's nearly 4 in the morning. No worries, Armor Shelt. Thank you both for hanging out. I'll see you later. Oh, we have a save point. Oh yeah, we've got a fast travel here. Oh, here we've got a hidden area here. I'm sure there's a loot chest behind here somewhere. There it is, there's a red one. So we need to follow the wire for this one. Well, got to go. Have a lovely stream and keep up the good work. Thank you, Armor Shelt. I'll see you later. Oh, yeah, this is just a little area. You have to actually... Oh, and there's the cable here. So it goes along here and around the corner. Probably have to go up this ramp. Yeah, you do. Up this ramp. And I think there is actually a loot chest up this tunnel a little bit. So we'll just go up this tunnel to pick up this loot chest. Then we'll continue with the mission. Oh, getting hurt here. Let's get out of here before I end up dying. I can probably just run through to the other side. No, I can't. Well, I probably should run back and let my health recharge. Then I'll check the loot chest. So that is a tricky little area, actually. I'll get this health here. That's the easiest way. So hopefully it's worth it. Looks like it's just got white items in here anyway. So I don't think there's anything worth it here. Just a bunch of white grenades. That's all we have. Okay, let's spend this skill point. Let's have a look around. I have been going down the harmony tree a little bit here. I guess we'll just keep putting stuff into harmony for now. Boost up that survivability a little bit. Make sure to check Brick's player level. He's so OP. Brick's player level. Oh, okay.
Hell yeah!
Oh, 97. Right. He's 97.
Yo, Slam.
There you go.
I heard Morty was in danger and you were wrecking face to help him. I'm in. Follow me.
Brick, you're here. I know we haven't always seen eye to eye.
Yo, Lily. I got bones with your
I guess the developers really don't want him to die.
In trouble, I'm on the team. Nothing else to say.
And I'll leave you to it. Do what you do best, Brick.
Mordecai's been on my ass about getting a non-punching hobby, like gardening. Joke's on him. Now, I need to do both. I got a green thumb and 4 green knuckles. Let's go prune some shrubs.
So it's like that in the original story when you encounter Brick running around.
Explosives!
Is he like 20 levels above you as well? Oh, getting shot here.
Silence!
Keep an eye out for enemies spawning on the side here.
Stop struggling. Farewell! You stop.
So that's like just some sort of a container you can break open, breakable container. He's ridiculous. The question is, how did he get to OP 14 when you can only achieve 80? Because Brick's awesome, that's how. I think he was coded differently in the base game. I either didn't have a level or it had it hidden. Right. Can't remember paying attention to these level in the base game. But yeah, maybe it was something similar, they just didn't show the number. But I assume if he has one, he's about on the same level. Giraffe DLC enemies are much tankier than base game though. So I guess they just scale him. Right. Yeah, so it could, even in the base game, it probably could be substantially higher still. Oh, we have an outhouse here. We can check this while we're close. Angelic Matriarch class mod. Don't need that. So I got excited when I saw a blue Siren class mod, but it wasn't one that I was interested in. Oh, we have a nice loot chest here as well. Bandit Slag shotgun, overkill, blue Bandit SMG. So we don't need to continue that way. I'm sure we're coming... Oh, yes, we do actually. No, we don't. We're heading in the opposite direction. Seems to be a pretty common opinion that older movies are generally better than newer ones. You'd hope at some point the movie studios might realise they're doing something wrong, if that's a common opinion people have. They were just more innovative. Certainly, that's it, yeah. Definitely got more variety in previous decades for sure. There's just less variety when it comes to movies. But I guess one saving grace is with the internet and subscription services, at least you get access to most, if not all, of that older stuff. And there's so much older stuff out there that you can happily just keep watching good quality older stuff for a long time. Like there's still a ton of older TV shows that I haven't watched that I'm really interested in and that I enjoy. So even if there's just rubbish being produced right now, there's still a ton of old stuff that you can still watch. And still watch for the first time as well. You don't have to re-watch it if you don't want to. Ton of stuff to watch for the first time. More, yeah. So we've got 2 shields to disable. We'll head to the west first. I do not have an external 15 terabyte data grave for backup reasons, officer. That's right. Everything is getting consumed in completely legitimate ways. There are no old movies. I do not torrent. That's right. Well, when you have people like Lucas changing old movies and then removing access to the original versions, what can you do? It kind of, I don't know if you could say it justifies torrenting, but it certainly does raise the question. What do you do if you're a fan of the original movie and the only version that you can legitimately get is a crappy edited one? I know, right? I pirate it. No regrets. Yeah, exactly. At that point, it's hard to feel sympathy for Lucas and probably for the movie studios as well, because I doubt that Lucas even has distribution rights to the Star Wars movies anymore anyway, so the movie studios that have the distribution rights are colluding with what Lucas wants as far as restricting the original versions. Oh, who knows? Lucasfilm is pretty powerful, I guess. They might still have the publication rights to the original Star Wars. Who knows? Another auto cannon here. Oh, these things are armoured. Well, let's pick a side here and just do the generator on one side, or the shield on one side. So at least it is a pretty nice environment that you have access to older stuff, however you choose to get it. So you can still access the good quality older stuff. Like at this point, I think I've seen most of the older movies that I really want to see. But I'm sure there's still a ton of other older movies that are not complete classics that I haven't seen. But for TV shows, there are a ton of older TV shows that I really enjoy that I haven't finished watching. So if I want to watch something on TV, I can always just continue watching a TV series that I haven't finished. I'll destroy. Oh, that's Brick there. Here's Brick patiently waiting for me. He seems like the sort of guy who would get impatient just sitting around waiting instead of busting things up. But he never says anything. He never says, "Come on, hurry up." Seems like something Brick would say if you wait too long. Complain that you should hurry up, that things are getting boring. Another cannon up here. Try not to die here.
Throwing grenade! Fire! Another down!
Well, this sapling's not slagged. Not slagged, the magic missiles just went straight past him too.
Stop struggling.
Seems like the subsequence seeking does a better job than the magic missile seeking. Sometimes you throw a magic missile at an enemy and it'll just fly right past. But subsequence at least seems to lock on to the nearest enemy better than the magic missiles do. Dial Shock SMG, blue one. Alright, at this point I might just take a quick break and I'll be right back.